Hey guys, Matt here, welcome to another video. I haven't done one for a while, and the reason for that was because I've had final exams for my university year, so I finished all that. I did, my last one was yesterday, and now I'm on a massive break, which is awesome stuff, and that's why I haven't really been doing much on the game. I mean, I've been doing the odd thing, but I hadn't really played that seriously. In fact, I couldn't even play on double XP that much. I mean, the only thing I could do was really AFK all things, which was either chopping ivy or doing fire making. I think I got like 85 to 90 using magic logs. I just went fuck it, I just went bought magic logs and I basically power trained my skill up. From there, and I did a bit of fishing. I got to like maybe 75 from 73 or something like that. But other than that, nothing much has really changed. I got a bit of strength up, so I'm almost 99. I just got to do one more level, and I've been doing a little bit Slayer, generally just because I've been lending out some armor to my friends. Therefore, there's not much I can do on the game other than maybe DKs or Slayer. So, in other news, I did sell my Zera bow and a lot of my bank just to afford this item, and the item is full Torva. So, yes, I got the legs, which is pretty cool. Um, I did buy the Zera bow at probably the worst time I could ever imagine. It was right before the instant kill darts. So I wasn't eligible for that just because my membership ran out in the middle of the month for like a day or two, and it's funny enough I got loyalty points, but I'm not loyal enough to get the darts or the XP. So that was a bit of a ball buster, but yeah, there's not much I can do about that. So all the prices went down. I lost about 10 mil on the Zarabo, but then the Torval legs went down pretty much as well. So I sold a lot of my shit and I got the legs. So now I got full Torva, which is pretty cool. It's so useful. Like you can do bandos and last like 2 hours, something like that with overloads. So it's pretty nuts. So that's practically my whole bank is this like these three pieces of armor. And I've been lending that to really close friends like Husky. He's probably the only guy I can trust with it. Oh, that and my friend who quit the game, D. So those two guys I have lent my Torva to before, and they give it back just because it's just why steal it, eh? So yeah, as you can see, there's not much else I have in my bank, and it's funny because ever since I had full Torva, everyone's been trying to lure me for it, and funny enough, I had a guy who added me, this guy here, Aprez, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's changed his name now, but he was a part of Lurenations. If you don't know what that is, it's just a luring clan, has like framed and loopser and all that stuff, and yeah, this guy started talking to me, a while ago. We were both fire making together back at G, and I was wearing my Torva. Well, I only had these two pieces, I had my dad and the Zarabo, and he's like, oh, we started talking and we added each other, and he's like, he goes, oh, I go, how do you make money, man? Because he had Torva as well and a bunch of other good stuff, and he goes, oh, I anti-lure. I'm like, cool, cool. So he showed me how to anti-lure, which was the telegrab method, which I know is full of shit because that's how they lure you by telling you an anti-lure, which doesn't work. And I watched a couple of videos. I actually subscribed to Frame through ML Goody. If you don't know who that is, he's another really good, pretty decent video maker. Makes lots of good content. But anyway, he's friends with Framed, and I saw in one of Frame's videos a lure, and funny enough, this guy was in it. So you put two and two together, and you had your doubt before you added him, and you're like, yeah, this guy's a lure for sure. And one day I logged in, and this is when I just got my. He kept on telling me, each time he logged in and he saw me, and he's like, oh, I anti-lured, a Torva, or I anti-lured, blah blah blah, like really bullshit, nice good items, which he probably lured them, which I do believe him in, because that clan is pretty good luring, but yeah, so he kept on telling me all these mad stories, and I'm assuming he wants me to like, get like, oh, that's heaps good, man, like really become fond of him. So then he's like, oh, you should come anti-luring like with me or luring with me. I'm like, oh, nah, man, like, it's just not my, I don't play the game that way. I could be staking, I could become a staker and make bank, but it's just not the way I play the game. So there was one time I logged on, and he's like, oh, dude, like, my friend's doing a giveaway, you should come, eh? I'm like, alright, here we go. So I got a little bit of video of it. I didn't record the whole thing because I was share screen with my friend Husky on Skype, and you know, it was lagging out my computer. So I only did a little bit at the start of it, but you can see everyone there, and it was fucking hilarious. It's probably the funniest thing I've ever been on because the way it worked was the way they lure people. It's pretty good. Like it's better than the average lure. Sorry if you guys are bored of the video. I'm just gonna. It's basically a story time. And so anyway, I went to A-Prez and he's like, come, with me. You'll be able to get some good prizes. I'm like, alright. At the moment, I only had like magic secateurs and an arty cloak on me. I didn't because I was doing a farming run. So I'm like, okay. So I met him at the the pub in Varrock Middle. So you go south from the middle and there's a pub, and there's always like really rich people there. And they were waiting for someone to come, and then everyone came, and I went AFK for like 20 minutes because I had to do something important. So they're all waiting for me, which is pretty funny. And they're like, alright guys, we're going to do a giveaway sponsored by this guy. And everyone's wearing pretty good stuff. Like one guy's wearing Torva, the other guy's wearing blue party hat. He showed me a bunch of his stuff, which is like the unknown value when you add it all together and trade. So that showed me, and I was like, oh man, this is hilarious. Like, so I went on my Skype with my friend. I'm like, dude, you gotta see this, eh? So he share screen with me. That's why I sort of ended the video because it's just too much for my computer to handle. So I was talking to him while he was looking at my screen, and straight away he recognised one of the players that was with me, which his name was Bloopser. I don't know who Bloopser was, but you know, apparently I looked at his channel. He's like I think he's a Laura or he's a Russia or something like that. He makes videos. So as soon as he saw that name, he pretty much laughed. He's like, alright, these guys are trying to lure you. I'm like, okay. So the way that it works is they have all these games and they, include you in, and in this instance it was trivia. I've done trivia before in the game, like back in the day, like '04. That was good times. Yeah, I got myself like a rune plate skirt gold or something like that. It was badass. So they ask you these really simple questions, and the way they interact with each other is they talk to each other though they don't know each other. But really, they're on Skype, and you can even prove it because there's a video on Blue Cell of him, like, not really anti-lawing, but it's like he just killed my friend eventually. So they talk to you, and they're like, alright, I'm gonna ask you these questions. They might ask something like, oh, what defense do you need to wear a Santa hat? And the first one to answer gets like money. And so I answered a question correct. I got 2.5 mil given to me. Like I was already up. I was up 2.5 mil in a lure attempt. So I was like, sweet, alright, free money. It's funny because like they didn't know I was onto them, even though. So they just gave me free money essentially. So I was like, sweet. If I really like, I should have haggled a bit more. I should try to get more out of them, but I was laughing too much. So we did like 4 games. My friend, they always like they bullshit. Giving prize out to some of their friends. So my friend Aprez, he got like a pair of steadfast boots. I should have tried to blend it off him, like get him to borrow it, like off him, but I just wasn't thinking at the time. I was laughing. It's just too funny. The acting is so funny, like so obvious. When you watch a porno and like the porno is the acting of it is so bad, it's hilarious. It's so obvious. Like that was it, eh? And they're all. I'm assuming that, yeah. Again, they're probably all talking to each other on Skype, and they're all wearing these funny outfits and that, like really expensive outfits, like Third Agent and all that. And the final game they played eventually was the quote of the day was, "All right, guys, I got some bad news. I got some good news. The bad news is, the giveaway is gonna be over." And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Like just it's so funny. And the good news is there's gonna be some high roll and like final giveaway prizes. I'm like, "Oh," and everyone's like, "Yeah, sweet." So the way that works is they get you to wear the outfit. And mind you, I wasn't wearing my Torva at the time. In fact, my Torva, I actually had my Torva on me at the time. It wasn't Husky didn't have it. So they say, all right, bring your best outfit and go to Lordy, and they go towards the right side of the rock, where it's multi, as you see with a lot of videos, and they're all wearing their outfits still, and they're like, all right, everyone's skulling on each other, so you skull on each other. But then again, I didn't have anything on me. I also had the magic secateurs and arty cloak, So eventually they're like, oh, Matt, bring your, or Exy, bring your, best outfit. So I'm like, alright, cool. So I run back. I get Vestas on just because I get Vestas max strength bonus basically with a magic, what's it called? The bow, the crystal bow, that was it. I didn't bring out my Torva. And then my friend was like, oh, April is like, oh, why didn't you bring your Torva out? I'm like, I don't have my Torva. Like, trying to tell him I don't have Torva on me. He's like, this isn't funny, man. This is hilarious. So, what I did was, I was talking to my friend on Skype and Husky, and he's like, oh, if you really want to have a go at it, go for it. Like, you can try and kill him. But it's multi, man. Like, you're probably going to die. And so he had a go at it. Eventually, he teleblocked one of the guys. And then their reaction, because Blusa made a video of that part, where my friend attacked him. It was so funny, that bit was just hilarious. Like, they freaked the fuck out on Skype. It was so funny. That was worth the stuff he lost. And then they're like, oh, Exy, did you bring your, like, friend who, someone, tipped us off. And they're all like, even though it's so funny because I'm the only one that's outside their group, they're all like, Exy, did you bring it? What the fuck? I'm like, no, I didn't, man. I didn't do it. Like, I was typing to them. It was so funny. And then it was funny because I was in Skype and I was with Vestas, and then I watched their video, and Bloops is like, oh, that's why he brought Vestas. He's probably going to declaw me, but I wasn't doing that. I just had a magic crystal bow, whatever it's called, and I was just chilling. I just wanted to look good and not risk Torva. And so eventually they killed my friend because it was 6-on-1 with, and eventually they switched to that, the Virtus, the Zerials, all that good shit, eh? Like I think they used the Dragon Spear spec and they just killed him. Which is kind of funny because I was talking to my friend and I was like, oh, I bet you they're going to video this and say like, oh, this is going to be an epic anti-lure or lure or whatever it's called. And funny enough, he actually did do that, which is hilarious. So they got 1.6 mil out of him, but they gave me 2.5 mil, which I gave to my friend. So he was actually up 800k. So, courtesy of Lurenations, they basically paid for that anti-lure. And I just told him, I go, bro, like, I know, I already suspected it from the beginning. I actually had a chat with Aprez and Blusa at least. Blusa was kind of a wanker at the start, like, he was, just because he didn't get my Torva, he was like, oh, my bank is 100 times yours, straight up. I'm like, mate, don't need to be a wanker, eh? Like, it just didn't work. I can respect your attempt, but man, like, it doesn't work on me. And I got Aprez, man. I go, yeah, I've still got him mad. Like, still got me at it. Like, I got nothing against him. He's just a lure. I mean, if you're gonna fall for that stuff, that's your own fault. And I go, bro, like your attempt on luring is pretty detailed. It's a lot better than most people. Most people just go up to you and go, hey, I got a video. Come here, which is a dangerous location. And you're like, what? No. Like, why would I do that? Here they actually give you a bit of money. They make it fun. I mean, if you're not suspecting it, you're gonna get killed. And like for me, I could have had a Debo team wait for them, and that guy that rushed out. If you watch Bloop's video, he would have got fucked, eh? Like, but I just didn't. I just don't have a Debo team, so it's risky on their behalf. So yeah, that was my story, guys. And the point of this video is I'm gonna make some videos more soon. I've got a bit more motivation. Although I did, since I've got Torva now, it's kind of, I'm in the mood for skilling, but now I want to make some money only because I'm not that rich anymore. I've only got like 4 mil, or 5 mil basically in my miscellaneous island. So I need to make some money for some items, and I don't know what item to pick. So I want you guys in the description below to tell me what item should I go for, what set item. So it could be something like Pernix, could be a Spirit Shield in particular, no Divine Plays, I don't want to make 400 mil. Maybe you want me to go for a Santa hat or a Halloween mask, or maybe Virtus or something like that, or maybe Bandos. I don't have Bandos at the moment. And yeah, see you later. Cheers.